Hi guys, I'm Heath Manning of Manning Cues. In this video I'm going to be discussing rail shots. Right now on the table you can see that I've got balls set up basically on every other diamond around the table. This is a very good drill for doing rail shots. You don't have to shoot them in any particular order, but it's just a very good drill to practice different rail shots that you'll come up to. I've already done one video on rail shots. This will be my second video. The reason I'm doing this video is because in the first video I show you how to make contact with the rail first and then the object ball using inside English. A lot of players have wrote to me saying, you know, they find this pretty difficult because they can't gauge the amount of deflection when they put spin on the cue ball, and the length of the shot determines how much they have to compensate as well, and power. So basically this is another way that you can shoot rail shots if you're within 45 degrees of the shot. And what I mean by that is, take the 7 ball that's right in front of you there. This is dead on, okay? So from where my cue ball is, that's a dead in shot on the 7, right? 45 degrees is about here. If I come any further than that, right, this system won't work because you're going to hit too much of the object ball. But let's get into this system now. The way you aim the system is probably like nothing you've aimed before. This system works by aiming the cue tip and not the cue ball. How this works is, I'm going to zoom the camera in on the 7 ball. I'm going to bring you a little bit forward and I'm going to zoom you in on the 7 so you can see exactly what I'm doing with my tip. So I'm going to put you down here and I'm going to zoom you in here on the 7. Okay, so we've got you there. Now what I'm going to do is, all you're going to do is really just watch my cue. This spot right here, okay, right where, if you were to put your tip and jab it on the rail edge, jab it in on the rail to where the 7 is, right there, that's where you're going to aim the tip of the cue. So the tip of the cue would hit the 7 and the rail at the same time. So now all you have to do from there, let me just move you back here, straighten this out a little bit. So now all we have to do is get behind the cue ball, and it doesn't matter where the cue ball is as long as we're within 45 degrees, and I'll show you what happens when we're not. So right now I'm going to set up behind this cue ball. I already know where I want to aim, and I can use spin if I want to, but you don't have to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to aim the cue tip straight through the cue ball to that spot where the rail and the 7 are, where the tip would hit both at the same time. I'm going to then come into the cue ball and I'm just going to shoot that right at that spot. You will make these shots all of the time if you hit that spot directly. Now you see here, the 6, 45 degrees would be here going in on that 6. So if I was over here, the system wouldn't work. But on this shot, I can get behind the cue ball, aim the tip of the cue right in the crack, right here, and aim right through the cue ball at that crack. Same thing. Okay? I don't have to change anything. I can do the same thing on the 10 ball down there as well. Aim through the cue ball at that crack and shoot that shot. Okay? I will make it every time. Now, I can do the same thing on the 11. I could shoot this all day, but you don't need to watch me shoot pool. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you what happens when we have an object ball on the rail and you're over 45 degrees. Okay. Here is my object ball. Here is my contact point. Now the contact point here, where the tip and the rail, where that tip would hit both at the same time, that spot comes straight out like this. So 45 degrees is in here. When I go past that, I'm past it over here, now the system ain't going to work, because if I aim for that spot, okay, the cue ball is actually going to come in and hit too much of the ball. It's going to hit early and it's going to push that ball right in the rail. So this is where you would have to use the rail shot video that I did prior, the first one. So it's called rail shot on the YouTube videos now. This one will be called rail shots part B. So when I shoot this, I'm going to have to aim more over here, not in the crack, because I'm past the 45 degrees. I'm going to use left English, because that's inside English, to put that ball in. Now, I'm hoping I'm not going to scratch in the corner pocket. I might. No, I came up just shy, but I had to spin the ball off the rail into the 5 to cut that in. If you don't do that and you don't spin that, if you connect that 5 at all before you get to that rail, you're going to push the 5 into the rail and it's going to come out. So I'll shoot that for you now too. When you're sitting here and you're behind the ball and you're more than a 45 and you can't use this other system that I just showed you, you come in here and you just hit center ball and you go to cut it. If you even hit any of that 5 going in, watch what happens. You're going to push it into the rail, it's going to come out, and you're going to miss, and you could end up losing the game. So, whenever you have a ball on a rail, and it doesn't matter, it can be anywhere on the rail. Whenever you have a ball on the rail and you're less than 45 degrees, so when you go find that spot, if your cue ball is on this side, you're less than 45 degrees. If this is your contact point and the cue ball is over there, this is not going to work. You're going to push the cue ball into the rail and it's going to come off like I just did. So get down, line your tip up, aiming at that spot where you'd wedge your tip in along the rail edge and the ball. Come back, set yourself, any spin you want, shoot the shot, and you'll make them all day. I hope that's helped, guys. That's rail shots part B. Any spin you want, contact point, you'll make your shots and you'll do it confidently. I'm Heath Manning of Manning Cues. Hope that helps. Thanks.